What up? What up? What up? It's Pope the Blueprint, the host of the number one networking show. And I like to take the first couple of seconds of each show to highlight any local brands that I may be wearing. And tonight I am wearing XI11, which is a local 17-year-old entrepreneur here in Baltimore. So I encourage everybody to support your local brands. And so we have a special guest in the virtual building tonight. How you feeling, good
Real
brother?
chilling for real, chilling, doing my
Yeah,
thing.
man. You've been super busy, man. And so before we get into your current projects, what you have going on, if you
hmm
can just introduce yourself, let everybody know where you're from, and just a brief overview of what you do, and we're gonna take it back to day one.
Already. So my name is Miles Michelin. I'm 20. Originally from Pigtown area, South Baltimore. I'm over east now, but and what I do is I do filmmaking. I do videos. Um, it's kind of different than music videos. A lot of people hit me up for music videos, like, "Yo, you do music videos?" Yeah, sorta. But I'm trying. I'm about to get into that. What I do is more storytelling with video. So.
Mm. Now take us back, right, to day one, far as your inspiration to get into film. What was that first moment of inspiration for you getting started, man?
So when I first started, I was in 11th grade and I did an internship at the city schools headquarters in Baltimore. And shout out to my man's Jim. He put me on with he basically put me on with the camera and was like, "Hey, this is how you work it. This is how you do it." And I was just like, "This is what I want to do. This is it right here. This is that.
Mm,
This that. Yeah." So it just kept going from there.
mm. So when you were first introduced, what were some of those first projects that they had you guys working on? Because at that point you just started. So it was like all brand new to you. What were some of the things they introduced you to?
So when they first started me off, excuse me, they had me I remember a big thing was breaking down a tripod and putting the
Mm,
tripod up and putting it on the camera because that was like an editing. They had me editing in Final Cut Pro, and those two things, those are the two things that I really remember like doing, and it was like, oh, so this is how you put this on here, and then you
mm,
go in here, and then Final Cut Pro. That's editing is a whole new world. It's different from just being behind the camera. So like you got you gotta really learn the software. And so that's kind of where, I was like, wow, just clicking different things and trying different things out. It was like, wow, like this is really cool. Like really messing with this.
yeah. So now I know you mentioned something about the editing side, right? So now which software do you like to use and what kind of flows best with you?
So right now I am using Premiere Pro, only because I don't have a Mac and Final Cut is Mac only, and I'm working on that. But I actually do
Okay.
love Final Cut better. That's my preferred. That's just like because I was introduced when I first introduced the video. That was kind of like here's Final Cut. This is what. So I'm kind of more introduced to that because I know a little bit more about it. But I feel like it's kind of the same. Um, but I think Mac. I really like Mac. Just Mac products in general. So
Mm. Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. So now you were introduced to it. You started out in the editing scene. Now, what was those first steps to like doing your own independent thing? Did you start with like a cell phone? Start with a camera? Like, what was that first initial like? I'm doing this on my own.
when I first started doing this, I was let's see. So I had finished my internship and I had got a camera after my grandmother had passed away. She gave me a camera, her old camera, a Canon T5, and I just started using that thing like every day, like nonstop, just like everywhere. Like I've had that thing on me, like my keys. You know what I mean? Like everywhere. So for real. So um when I started doing that and I started, I started like finding different settings and like playing around with the camera and I was just like, oh, I like this. I like this. But there was one thing for the Canon, the T5 that I couldn't really do with um like the Canon T6i that I have now, and that's video. That's kind of the whole point of this. Like the whole point of what I wanted to do was video. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
this is nice, taking pictures and all, but I want to do video. I feel like video is more like you can really visual, like you can see it, like it's going on right here, like you know what I mean. You can see what's going on. So when it comes to that, I was let me see. So when it comes to that, I was using my T5, my grandmother's
hmm,
camera. I still have it because it's my grandmother's camera, and that's
yeah,
kind of like a family thing. So I was like, all right, let me get the next one up, and it was a T6i. So that's the one I have currently, and that's the one I'm using.
man, that's dope, man. That's dope. So you were like going everywhere, taking pictures. I mean, I'm sure people was like, "Golly, man, can you put the damn camera down?"
For real.
Man, that's super dope, man. And I'm sure at the time that you received the camera and everything that it represents, I'm sure that was kind of therapeutic for you at the same time, man, to kind of relieve some
Yeah.
stress, man. Talk
hmm
about that, man. Was that really a reliever for you at that point?
I mean, yeah, it was like a lot of stuff was going on personally. I was still in high school. I was really not doing good in high school, honestly. Um, by that time, I was like 12th grade, and then, like I said, my grandmother just died, which she was like a real big influence to me. Like I love my grandmother. Like my grandma was everything to me. So when it came to like, she gave me her camera, it was like, you know, okay, she's giving me this. This is
Yeah,
important. This whatever this is that she's giving me has meaning and purpose. So let me use this as much as I can. And then I was just
yeah,
like, let's just keep going with it. And then I got the next one up, and that's the one I have now. Which, yeah.
yeah. So what was that first video project that you did, man? Do you remember like the first thing you actually recorded from start to finish and edited? What was that first project, man, that comes to mind for you?
So a lot of the stuff that I do that's on my YouTube channel is with a I want to say company, a nonprofit called Baltimore Youth Film Arts. So I work with
Mm,
them, and they do a lot of stuff with youth and introducing them to film, and that's kind of where I started with like doing my own, like all the stuff that you see on my YouTube channel. Um,
yeah.
that's a lot of the stuff that is based off of that. Excuse me, that nonprofit. So um, when I first started doing that, it was kind of like where was it? At? It was the East Side one was first. I have
Okay.
them. I don't have them in order on my channel, but it was the East Side one that was first. And basically, what we did was we went on the East Side of Baltimore, and we just started filming. It was a whole group of us. It wasn't just me, and it was a whole group of us, and we just went on the East Side of Baltimore and just started filming. And then we started getting in contact with people, and telling them, hey, this is what we're doing. Would you like to be part of it? And then we came and did interviews and um like little behind the scenes stuff with them, and then that came together and it just kept going. Like it was
Yeah,
just
because
yeah.
the first one that I seen that you put together was the West Side one.
hmm
Um, that was pretty dope. You had a guy on there playing the instrument. Um, and it was a couple dope things on there, man. When you go through the city from the east to the west, are there certain things that you learn about the city or learn about people or learn about the culture? Just kind of interviewing people because you're right there in the trenches sometimes,
One
man.
one of the things like there's a big misconception about the city in general is that we all thugs and gangbangers and want to be drug dealers and da 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 whatever.
Yeah.
That's not the case. A lot of people that is like, if you strip away all the music and the like the jewelry and whatever else, they're people. And that's
Yeah,
basically the point that a lot of I think that's a point that a lot of people don't understand, and there's a lot of that's the point that I know me personally I was trying to bring across, that these are people first,
yeah,
regardless of what they have on, what they don't have on, the people. So, and they have a story, they're important. So let's
yeah,
get that story out to the rest of the world.
yeah, yeah. I like that, man, because that's what I try to do in my interviews, right? Like
Mhm.
interviewing you tonight. I love your videos, and it also gives people an opportunity to understand your mindset and to understand your vision and to connect with you, right? Because it's just like you're young, you're doing something positive, and it's like we need to highlight this because in our city, like you said, people do have the misconception, but it's a lot of people like yourself and the people you interview out here trying to make a difference, man. And so I appreciate what you do, and that's why I just enjoy having you on the show because you're the next generation of entrepreneurs and vision makers, right? Because
Mhm.
what you're doing when you capture these moments, like
Mhm.
these moments are gonna live forever, right? Because
Exactly.
the documents and everything that you put together last year, that
Hmm.
2020 is gonna go down in the history books.
Hmm. For sure.
You know what I mean? And so when you were filming last year during 2020, what are some of the things that you worked on last year, man? Because you were busy.
Let me see. So I'm gonna say this: that one, I really want to highlight one specific project, and that's the My
Yeah.
Block Doc one. That one
Mm,
was the first time I was ever in front of a camera as well. Like I was like, because for the if you see a lot of the other ones, you see me behind the camera. You don't see really any of us in front of the camera at all. So,
okay.
but the first one that I did that I'm really like proud of, and it actually went a little crazy. Um, it actually did. It went a little crazy. I woke up one day and I'm like, whoa, what happened? So um, that one I did with Jim Majobian, which he is also the guy who basically introduced me to cameras. Shout out to him. Um, and he was like, I mean, at first the whole idea was to get like my block, and I was like, ain't nothing going on in my block. It's just a little block, it's just a little block of people.
Yeah,
It ain't nothing for real, for real. But then
yeah,
he was like, no, look, this is what we're gonna do. Just try it. If you don't really like it, we can try something else. And but let's just try doing this. So I
yeah.
did it. By the end of it, I was like, I want to do another one. I want to do this again. Like, when we gonna do the next one? Come on, let's go somewhere else and do. And he was like, oh, we started the first one. Hold on. So, but like, yeah, and then it turned out, and then I started, I put it out, and at first it was kind of like doing cool for my other ones. And then I woke up one day and I'm like, damn, what the hell? Where these people come from? Like, where are these views come from and all these comments? I'm like, where are these people come from? So I'm looking through my Instagram, like, somebody shout me out, somebody put this on a story or whatever. No, I'm
Yeah,
just like, and then what really happened actually recently, which this kind of like pushed me. I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going at. So I'm walking on the
yeah,
street, and this lady, it was this, what was this, like, family, and it was this, and the lady, she was like, I don't know, you know how people in Baltimore, they just start screaming because it's
yeah,
Baltimore. People just
yeah.
loud. So I'm thinking, oh, she just loud. She like, no, excuse me. So I turn around and she like, I saw your video on YouTube. I really like it. I really enjoy it. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
thank you. Then I'm like, I keep walking. I'm like, whoa, that really just happened. Like, somebody really,
yeah,
like, I don't know this lady from nowhere, from Adam and Eve,
yeah,
and she just said, oh, this is a great video. I really enjoy
yeah.
it. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, okay, okay, I
So
know what I'm doing
what
now.
going on? What was going on in your mind, right? Because what was the emotion? What was that excitement that you was feeling at that point? Was it motivating to keep going?
For sure. What? It was for sure. It's like I was like, okay, now I know for sure I'm doing something right with some random people. Because you think about it, like if it's your mom or your peoples and all that, they like, oh, I love what you're doing. This is great. It's your mom and your peoples. They gonna say that regardless. You can go, you know, you can go shoot a basketball and be like, oh, that's great. But when it's
Right,
somebody
right.
random, when it's somebody
Mm,
random, like nobody, like you never met this person before a day in your life, and she just say, I like your video. Keep going. Keep
mm.
doing what you're doing. It's like,
Wow.
whoa. Like, whoa. Like, that's crazy. It's
That means
crazy.
a lot, man, because when you're doing something like creating content, it feels good when people appreciate what you're doing because it's like,
Sure.
okay, you put a lot of hard work into it, you making
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice, and it's like, man, to get that acknowledgement is awesome, man.
Mm-hmm. For sure. It's crazy. Um, I mean, since then, I'm just like, okay, let's do another one. So let's just keep
Yeah.
going.
So do you know what actually happened with that bit? Like, was it something different you did with the algorithms, the posting, the hashtags? Do
Still
you
don't
even
know.
know it took off?
I still do not know. I don't know at all. I just one day just woke up and was like, wow.
Damn.
It's like, okay, cool. Like, yeah.
So how do you even follow that up, right? Like, what was the
And
next thing that you did?
that's another thing. That's another thing that I'm thinking about. Like, how do I follow that up? Like, what's like, how do I follow that thing? Somebody just seen
Yeah.
me on the street and was like, hey, I like your video. And then now it's like again, it's like, well, how am I gonna follow that up? How am I gonna do what am I gonna do better next time? What's the next run? And I'm like, I mean, I'm gonna just keep doing videos, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. You know what I mean? It's just I'm gonna keep doing my thing for real. That's just kind of
And
how
you
I.
know what? And that's the best way to approach it, right? Because
Mhm.
even when I make videos, like personally, it'll be some videos that just take off, right? I just
Mhm.
record them, they take off. It'll be some videos that fall flat. Like I don't know the algorithms, and it's like you said, if
Mhm.
you're just making it because that's what you love to do, it's like, man, forget it. If it skyrocket, if it don't, I just love doing what I do.
Mhm. For sure. I mean, yes. As long as I like doing it, and as long as I'm proud of the output, the end
Yeah,
result, I'm gonna put it out and be like, here you go. Y'all watch it.
yeah,
Y'all don't watch it. Do what y'all want to do. Yeah.
yeah.
Easy.
Now you also had some projects that you did last year. Was it social or civic engagement, or what was
Uh,
that one?
I will actually tell you this. That was my
Yeah.
least favorite project. I did not like doing that at all. I didn't. I didn't like doing that at all. Only because it was Zoom based and it wasn't we wasn't like
Mm,
out in the field and we wasn't like 'cause
okay.
I don't like doing little Zoom projects. Like, you know what? Like
Yeah.
it's cool and I understand like, with COVID and everything, like some people might not be comfortable with being out and whatever, but
Yeah.
that's not my thing. So
Yeah.
with that, I it was another Baltimore Youth Film Arts project, and basically what we did was we learned about what civic engagement is, and it's basically um like it's kind of hard to explain. Um,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's kind of like lawmakers and like sort of in that area, like people who do stuff in the community that
Okay.
makes a difference and is like and it has to do a lot with local government as well.
Okay.
So
Got
um
you.
when it came to that, we a lot of the people that we got on, um we just had regular conversations just like this. It was basically just
Yeah.
like this but with a whole lot more people in it. And then we just put them together and then that was it.
Yeah, that was dope, man. That was dope
Mm,
because it was just a different side of some of the things that you were involved in. Now, one of
mhm.
the things I want to go back to is that you said one of the projects you were in front of the camera instead of being behind the camera. What was the motivation in that transition, man? Was it something that you were inspired to do? You wanted to show another side of yourself? What was that motivation behind that switch?
Keep it 100. It was the only reason why I did that was because of the dude that was actually behind the camera. He was like, "Well, either you gonna get in front of the camera and do this, or you just not going to video because we just not going to have nothing." I'm like, "All right, come on, let's go, come on, F it, we gonna
Did
see
you
how this."
enjoy it? Yeah,
Yeah,
did you?
I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, at first it was like it took a lot of takes. We did a lot of takes because I was just like, like at first it was kind of like I was just like stuck because I'm like I've never been in front of a camera before, like
Yeah.
ever. Um, I mean, other than like record myself doing little stuff or whatever, but like seriously,
Yeah.
like never been in front of a camera for real. Um,
Yeah.
so once it came out and once I started, like I'm like, wow, I really did that, and that's cool. And like, and I saw the comments once I posted it on my Instagram, and it was this one comment that was um what really got me going was this one dude named Vontae. He from here. He a comedian, and
Okay.
he
Yeah,
commented
yeah,
on
yeah.
it. Yeah,
About yeah, yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
seen him on it. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Like, damn. Okay. So that's why I'm like, oh, it's cool. That's dope. I'm messing with it. And ever since like he said he wanted to work with me and do a little something. So that's kind of like I might have a little something with him coming, depending
Yeah,
on it all depends on him though, But
yeah. No,
yeah,
that's all good. That's all
it,
good, man. Now, is there other people, far as, and it doesn't have to be like specific comedians or musicians, but are there people that you would like to work with in the industry? What are some of the people that you would like to work with? Throw some names out there so we can make this happen.
it trying to think. I mean, honestly, all the people that I want to work with, I haven't even met yet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I haven't even met yet because the people that I want to work with are so far in their career that they don't even know who I am. It don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
people that like are like really far, like the like legends in their career. And I feel
Yeah.
like, and what's the sad thing about it is like all the people I want to work with, by the time I get to where I'm going at, they're gonna be gone. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because
yeah.
like the Spike Lee, let me if he hit me up and was like, yo, I'm gonna fly you out to here, get you on the project. What? COVID, no
Yeah.
COVID, I'm gone. You know what I mean? Um you know what I mean? Like people that like I don't know. And then like another thing I want to do too is which I have sort of reached out to a couple people, but I'm thinking about doing music videos. It's not my forte. It's not really what I'm kind of, but I see that it's making people money. So you know what? Anything that's gonna make me some money, I'm going at. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, I tried reaching out to a couple people. I mean, I'm gonna just say this that they probably just busy. I ain't gonna,
Yeah.
say oh they bougie or whatever. They not trying to work with nobody because they probably just busy. So
Yeah.
um yeah, I mean, I kind of
We
want to
gonna
share with
we gonna
somebody though
make some,
that do music
yeah,
videos.
we gonna make some of that. We gonna make some of that happen, right? Because I have some people um that'll probably come up this year that do make music videos. I have a couple that said they will come on the show. So hopefully we can try to make that connection somehow, man. Because like you said, the one specifically that was definitely like he wanted to come on. He like super busy, man. He like in
Yeah.
this city, and so like he's always traveling, and so
Hmm.
um we'll make something happen, man. And that's what I love about this show and the networking show. Why I call it the number one networking show is because like sometimes it's just somebody else having a conversation with somebody and be like,
Mm-hmm.
man, like check them out. Like I'm just all I'm gonna say is check them out. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so you know what I mean? And so you're doing the work. Like you had one project that I seen, man, it was super dope. Like you had the Najia Wright, The Land of Kush.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You-
That one. Mm-hmm.
That was super dope. I love The Land of Kush. And so like you're doing so many great projects, man. And so like it's gonna happen, man, especially because you're so young, man. You're
Yeah.
only 20, right? And so
Mm-hmm. 120.
um yeah, you're only 20, so the sky's the limit, man. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you definitely go it ain't no doubt about it that you gonna make it, right? Because you got the hustle,
Already.
you got the grind. We doing the interview right now. You know what I mean? Like you
Already.
stay active, man. I see you everywhere. Like I be on
Yeah.
posts. I'm like my man everywhere. You know what I
I
mean? So
try.
you got man. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
my man on this post. I see you, bro.
Yeah. I be on here. I try to be everywhere. You feel me?
Yeah,
Cause you never know. I feel like social media is a gift and a curse.
yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like it's definitely a curse because you can off the record you can get gone off of social media if you know what I'm talking about. You can get gone.
Yeah,
You can.
yeah,
But at the same time, you can also get right, and you can
yeah,
meet a lot of people, and you can expand your network. And it's all about
yeah,
network. It's all about network because you know what?
yeah,
It's who you know, not what you know. Because you can know a whole bunch of things and tell a whole bunch of people all these things, but it's all about what who you know. Because who you know can get you from point A to point B. That's
yeah.
kind of
That's
how
fact.
I see it.
That's fact. Yeah, no, that's definitely right, man. And so, before we go, what are some of the things that we can look out for you for that you may have on the radar this year? And then let the people know where they can follow you at to tap into the projects that you have.
Already. So one thing when it comes to my work, I might have to. I'm actually thinking about taking a break only because
Mhm.
of school. I'm about to get back
Okay.
into school, so I might do a couple projects here and there. But you can also tap in with me on Instagram at Miles Michelin, MYLESMICHELIN. That's also my Twitter as well. Light Skin Films is my YouTube channel, so you can go and see all my work in there. And I
Okay.
mean, that's kind of it. That's
That's
that's kind
good.
of where I'm at.
That's
Um,
good.
and
That's
really
dope.
starting to focus on school, but
Yeah,
like I'm a pop up here and there with little projects and stuff. So
good, man. That's good, man. And before we go, give us that last word of encouragement, to the youth, to anybody that's thinking about getting started. What would be that last word before we go?
get started, get started, because you know what? When once you get started and once you start doing it, you're going to start learning and you're going to start finding out. Okay, this is what I like to do in this. This is what I don't like to do in this. So, but you can't do none of that if you don't start. You know what I mean?
Mm,
You can't do nothing
yeah,
if you don't start. Like if that's what you want to do, regardless of who says what. Oh, this ain't for you. Because a lot of people say this ain't for me. A lot of people still to this day, people that I used to hang with 5, 6 years ago, that I used to
yeah,
call brother and all of this. Somebody just literally just hit me up before this happened. Called me
yeah,
brother 5, 6 years ago. Same person talking about this ain't for me. I want you to do
yeah,
this. Nah, do what you want to do. Don't you know, if that's what they want to do, they want to pull you down, well then lead them out your circle. Straight up.
yeah,
But yeah, just do what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, if you see it and it's like, oh, this is cool, I want to do this, we'll make this a career, do it.
yeah. That's that. You know what? That's great advice, man. Because sometimes people just can't see your potential in the beginning, right? Or they have failures in their own stepping out and they're trying to put it on you. And so
Exactly.
I really feel that's great advice, man. So, just keep doing what you're doing. I always
Ready.
appreciate chopping it up with you, man. And so
Already.
peace, peace, love, and blessings, man. And you enjoy the rest
Already.
of your night.
You choose your. Thank you for having me again, bro.
It's
Already.
all good, all love.
Already.